people, what is up? It is Stephanie, and today we are going to talk about meal plan tips, how to figure out what to get from the grocery store for the week so you guys can watch your budget. You can make it a super fast grocery trip, or if you're like me and you online order, makes it super easy. So I thought what I would do is just kind of take you through my process. I do this on a weekly basis. My days are going to be a little different than yours perhaps because my days off are Thursday, Friday, and my Monday is Saturday. Does that make sense? So like my Sunday night is really Friday night. So I do this a lot of times on Friday night or very early Saturday morning, but it doesn't matter what days of the week that you work. I'm just kind of letting you know that in case I say something weird like Friday is my Sunday. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I know like just starting the week out that there's a few nights that we already have pre-planned things, and that's one of my recommendations is make it easy on yourself. And out of the 7 nights a week, try to pick a couple where it's either the same thing or maybe you're going out. So give you an example. I know that on Tuesdays, we call it Taco Tuesday. We're going to do tacos on Tuesday. Usually I will make tacos and I'll make myself taco salad because I do keto, so I do low carb. Or I do like a really low carb tortilla. Sometimes we'll go out for tacos, but either way, my husband and I just know that we're having tacos on Tuesday. It just makes it easy from a planning standpoint, and it makes it easy if he's trying to figure out what to do for lunch. I know that Thursday night for us is date night. That's our Saturday night. So I know that's date night. We always go out on Thursday nights. And then for us, our busy nights are usually Saturday and Sunday because that's our Monday, Tuesday. So think about your busiest nights, whether you've got kids' soccer practice, whether you get home late, whether you have something maybe at church. We want something easy that when we get home, it's either already made or it just doesn't take long to mix up. So I usually will do like a crock pot meal once a week at a minimum. So I'll usually do chili, and that's a good one that we just like even weekly, like we don't get tired of it. And let me back up. I have just a sticky note and I've just written down the dates like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just super easy. Okay. And then I know that I'm usually going to do a meal with chicken, and we have a meal that we like. I call it a chicken enchilada casserole. Basically it's just chicken breast we throw in the Instant Pot with some red enchilada sauce, some chilies, and I make that all up. And that's super easy and it's healthy on the weekends. So I know that we're going to have that. And then I've got basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday left. So we've got Taco Tuesday and date night on Tuesday, Thursday. I've got 2 kind of really easy dinners for the weekend, chicken enchilada casserole or chili, or for our busy nights. For Friday, it's our Sunday. So I know, one, we don't want to go out really on Friday nights if we don't have to, just because everything's busy. So I usually like to try to grill out that night, thinking if Leroy can make dinner one night a week, that'd be awesome. He sometimes will make it more. And he does other stuff around the house. But if I can like say, hey babe, I'm going to go get this, or let's go to the store together. And then if you'll grill out, then I know I have another healthy dinner. And then that's something that he can kind of take care of for me. So I'm just going to write grill out. And I know that's going to be either, steak, chicken. We don't do a lot of fish. We're trying to get better about that. Maybe some shrimp, that kind of thing. But let's say for this week, it's going to be steak and veggies. That way I know what to get from the store. And then now I have Monday and Wednesday night left. So let's say you want to do something fun, like, maybe once a week you guys do pizza. For us, we don't order pizza in. I usually make it because I try to do keto. So maybe on Wednesday night, I'll do pizza, homemade like barbecue chicken pizza. And then I like to do some kind of an Italian dish. So I'm kind of thinking categories in my head, like, hey, we got some crock pot meals. I got some Tex-Mex. I've got something grilled out. Let's do something kind of Italian. So I can do spaghetti. You could do keto lasagna. You could do chicken Alfredo. Any of those kinds of things. So I'm going to just pick spaghetti. And what this does is it's going to give me some guidance. One, on what I need to get from the grocery store for that week. And then what it's also going to do is, depending on what your list looks like let's say I'm going to get ready to make spaghetti for the week. Well, that means I'm usually going to mix up some ground turkey, ground beef, ground bison, throw it all together. Well, if I already know that I'm going to have Taco Tuesday and like chili later down on the week, why not make enough when I'm cooking for that meal? Just cook out more meat and then divide it into 2 other or 3 or however many it makes containers to where I already know, look, even if you freeze it just in case something changes and you don't end up having your chili or you don't end up having Taco Tuesday for some reason, you've got the meat already made and prepared, right? So just throw some meat in the skillet, throw some chopped onions in there, some seasoning. That doesn't matter if it's Italian or if you're doing it for tacos. And then when Taco Tuesday rolls around, throw the meat in the skillet again, already cooked, but just throw in some taco seasoning, add some water, and you're done in like 5 or 10 minutes versus having to cook all the meat, remembering to thaw it out, getting home, the ground beef's a brick in the freezer, like, right? That's the issue here, is not being able to know ahead of time what to plan for. If I know I'm going to be doing pizza and it's grilled chicken, let's say I'm doing grilled chicken barbecue pizza, and I already know I'm gonna have, like the previous week, maybe I did the chicken enchilada casserole. Well, I know to save back some of that chicken if possible, so I've got it from pizza the next week, right? So it just kind of helps to know what you're gonna be making. It also makes it to where, like, let's say I do chili, okay? Like I did this last night. We made chili in the crock pot and we had plenty left over on purpose. So I already know that I have enough chili in the freezer now for another meal for next week or the following week. So it allows you to also plan for, like, let's say you cook the first week of the month. Let's say you make your ground beef and ground turkey and all that meat up, and you make all of your chicken up in the Instant Pot and you shred it and do all that. Make extra so that all you have to do is freeze that, and then when the next week rolls around, you're just pulling it out of the freezer that morning for dinners. It also helps you remember what you need to pull out of the freezer so that you don't do what I do a lot of times and get home, or used to do, and go, oh crap, I forgot to throw, I didn't know what to do for dinner, now we have to go out again, and that gets old too. So that really helps. Plus it keeps your grocery list smaller and you're not wasting a lot of produce, which is what I would do. I would be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have salad this week, and da-da-da-da. And then we didn't, and then everything goes bad because it has a shelf life, and then you end up throwing all this stuff away. The other cool thing you can do is you can take this, right? And then let's say you create one for next week. So next week, maybe you do a couple of the same things. Like let's say Taco Tuesday's the same and date night's the same, and you still do chili, but let's say you're like, yeah, I don't want to do chicken enchilada casserole again. Maybe you do chicken quesadillas. Maybe instead of spaghetti, you do lasagna. Or maybe you do fettuccine alfredo with zoodles if you're doing keto. Maybe instead of grilling out steak, you grill out shrimp or chicken. The cool thing is, keep these sticky notes, and then what I do is I throw it on the calendar in our pantry so that everyone knows what we're eating for the week, so that they just know. They know what not to eat for lunch, so they don't have a repeat. And then just rotate them. So maybe you have like 3 or 4 essentially weekly menus that now you can reuse, and every freaking week you're not trying to decide what to have for dinner. I absolutely hate that question, what's for dinner? And it's like, I don't want to figure it out, right? And the night of. So that really helps me. If you guys want some of our actual like meals that we do on a weekly basis, or meals that are easy to make in one big pot and then freeze and have for multiple weeks, or if you want my keto grocery list, the things that I just get on a weekly basis to keep me, that staples in the fridge and in the pantry to keep a keto menu plan, let me know. I'm happy to do that. And let me know if you have any questions. I think the sun just went behind a cloud, so you may have seen a difference in the light. But anyways, I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm super excited. If you can't tell, I get really pumped about it. Anything for organization, anything for meal planning, anything to help you save money, anything to be healthier, I'm all for. Because if I'm running out the door to go to a listing appointment and Leroy's late writing a contract and we get home at 8 or 9 o'clock at night like we did last night, it's just nice to come home and know that something's already prepared and ready, and you don't always have to go out. Plus, we're trying to be healthier and not have as much salt and carbs and sugar, and you can't gauge all that stuff whenever you go out to eat. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon. Bye.